What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite New York Jets subscription podcast, Badlands. I'm your host, Joe Caporoso, joined as always by Connor Rogers. Thanksgiving week podcast. Connor, how you doing? How you feeling?
Good. This is a crazy week, especially, the Jets side of it. They're not playing on Thanksgiving, thank God.
Nope.
They're not playing on Black Friday, thank goodness.
Shout out Tim Boyle. We miss you.
Oh, man. Yeah, the very forgettable, or not forgettable, the Fail Mary.
Oh,
game.
God.
Yeah.
Let's ruin every holiday imaginable. Christmas Eve with Victor Cruz, Thanksgiving with the butt fumble, Friday after Black Friday with Tim Boyle. Come on.
A low-key one, although it didn't really screw up the draft for them that bad, but a little bit. When their last Christmas Eve game, they beat the Commanders.
Trevor Siemian went off. Our guy I think our guy Brownlee had a touchdown in that game too. Our last.
Yeah, it was a win that, depending how you look at that. So I'm good. It's a crazy week. It's a really, really big work week for me, but I do get to spend Thanksgiving this year, the day of Thanksgiving with family, because there's no college football and there's no Jets, and it's a really cool slate of games. I'm pretty pumped.
Let's start at the top with, I want us to focus in on a couple guys we haven't spent a ton of time talking about. So we rewatched the Ravens game. I want to talk a little bit about Malachi Moore, Olu Fashanu, and then we're going to move into some Membou discussion and some Sherwood discussion. But, I was thinking about Moore. He's just kind of quietly went about his business, which I think is mostly good for the position he plays, although you do want some playmaking from your safety. What have you generally seen from him since he's taken over the starter's role? Because I feel like for a rookie fourth rounder, it's been more good than bad so far. But what is the tape saying?
Well, especially recently, right? When you look at Malachi Moore, he's someone that I thought when he started to play due to injuries, there was a few times he got away with mental lapses, whether they're trying to pass off receivers or he was, trying to break on a different route. And I believe it was him as well. When Azareye'h Thomas gave up the long touchdown to T. Higgins, I think Azareye'h thought he had more over him and Moore went to undercut the intermediate in-breaking route. So he's had moments on tape early in the season or in the middle of the season where you were looking at it and like, okay, he's making some mental mistakes on the back end that are just going to get better over time. And it feels like he's making less of those, which is really, really key. You're right. He's been a little bit more steady back there. And the thing you do notice about him is he loves to hit. I mean, he throws his body around. He's looking to knock people out. He's looking to lay big hits on people. So, yeah, I think that Moore obviously was a starter multiple years at Alabama in a very complex defense schematically from the secondary. A lot was asked of him, and he showed some pretty good instincts. He was a pretty reliable tackler. So, I think so far for him, he's trending in the right direction where he went from, okay, there was some scary moments of mental lapses as you expect for a rookie safety to now a lot less of those where he's kind of just more or less blending in for the most part. He hasn't been giving up a ton of big plays. He's going to miss a tackle here or there, but nothing jarring. And I think if you get a serviceable starter out of him, that'd be a really good selection.
Yeah, I noticed a lot less of the shoulder tackling too, which was driving me crazy in the preseason because you could see he wants to hit and throw his body around, but the lack of form in the preseason was killing me. But he's cleaned that up now, and he looks like a veteran out there. Now, to be fair, he's playing next to maybe the worst starting safety in the NFL, so he does look better by comparison. But I think you feel good about a fourth-round pick and what you're getting from him. Now I want to move to a former first-round pick, Olu Fashanu. Always a lot of debate around him. I feel like the play has generally stabilized as of late. Have you seen anything in this 11-game sample size that makes you doubt he is the Jets' left tackle for at least, let's call it, the next 5 years?
No, not at all. I think that, number one, there was a huge perception problem with Olu when Fields was playing, because Fields plays a brand of football that it's almost impossible to evaluate tackles based off of pass protection data. You really need to watch the film and understand, we live in a world today and it's super helpful, but pressures are logged, right? But whenever you see pressures tweeted out, you never have the context of, okay, was the tackle beat in 2 seconds or was the tackle beat in 9 seconds? And they count the same in the log.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think we'll get better at as analytics improve going forward. And I can run filters and watch tape and tell that. But if somebody, a Jet fan that is working their 9 to 5 job, just reads a tweet of that, they'd understandably just go, oh, wow, Olu gave up, how many pressures. That's not good. So I think the coverage of offensive line play is getting better, but it's not in the place it needs to be compared to a lot of positions. And I think that has set a little bit of a perception that was off for Olu during the season, where it was like, oh God, he's really a weak point of this team. And I'm like, well, what are you watching? So I don't think he was a all pro caliber player by any stretch of the means, or even an above average tackle in the beginning of the season, but he settled in nicely. It's no coincidence when Tyrod plays, he kind of looks his best. He was very good in pass protection against the Ravens. I think more notably his run blocking. It's funny because his run blocking is actually further along in his pro career than I projected it to be, and his pass protection is a little behind in where I projected it to be. So as a player overall, he's right where I kind of projected him. It's just been in funny ways. And even, the sack he gave up at the end of the game against the Ravens, once again, like that's kind of a unique situation where the Jets are in this, and Tyrod stepped up. It wasn't really like a true sack he gave up, even though PFF counts it as that. They were in a true drop back script, or these long drop back scripts. Even when you watch the tough moments for Olu, it's nothing like overly jarring. I think the Jets as a whole, how they played the Browns front, was maybe the best resume builder for their tackles on the entire year, because you look at what Myles Garrett and company do to literally everyone else. So I like where Olu is at, and knowing the physical gifts he has and the DNA of the player, he's going to be just fine going into year 3. There's been nothing where I'm like, I don't know. I feel very confident in him.
I mean, this might be the least tackle-friendly offense in the NFL through 11 games with how things have played out. And
it definitively is.
And
yes.
So I think along those lines, on the other end, and we were talking about this a little bit on Twitter today, why can't Armand Membou be the offensive rookie of the year? Who deserves that award more than him this year? Now, an offensive lineman, to my knowledge, has never won it, so he's not going to be seriously considered. I just don't know who's earned it more than him. I think, and I'm trying not to be the Jet fan overrating the Jet player, I don't think this is the case. I think this is similar to Sauce and Garrett's rookie year, where Membou is just the best offensive rookie in the league right now. He's playing a really hard position as a 21-year-old, and he's playing at a borderline Pro Bowl level, like a second team discussion all-pro level. He won't get that probably as a rookie, but he's not far off, and that's kind of crazy for someone that young. So I just think it's important to emphasize the level he's playing at, and while he won't get that serious consideration, and they should change this from an award standpoint, I don't know who's earned it over him. Knock on wood, he's played every snap this year. He's been healthy. He's went against TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, plenty of challenging fronts, and he just rises to the occasion over and over again. I mean, what are the Raiders thinking watching his tape with their offense right now? Like, if you do a draft over, where does he go in that draft with how good he's playing at tackle? Talk a little bit about Membou, offensive rookie of the year, and even in where redraft, how high he could potentially go.
Well, I love this take from you because, number one, you're spot on in both your assessment that he should be under consideration to win it, and two, that he won't, because offensive linemen don't win the award. And I think
literally never. It's never happened, right?
No, it doesn't happen. And for perspective, it's one thing to say he's not going to win. It's another thing to say he's not going to be a finalist. It's another thing for him to not have odds. Okay. Like, for perspective right now, Teteroa McMillan is the front runner on DraftKings and every sports book, by the way. He's plus 120. Teteroa McMillan caught a touchdown on Monday Night Football, but he had like 30 yards. Emeka Ibuka has done nothing for weeks. Jackson Dart hasn't played in 2 weeks. Tyler Warren is who I think would win it if the vote was today, or should, because of the consistency, and the Colts are a big story. He's plus 550. Those are the top 4 guys. Maybe Travion Henderson makes some kind of late surge here because the schedule is so soft, so paper thin, and the Patriots are finally giving him volume, but he's still considered a long shot. And when you go through all of that, you're like, okay, why is Harold Fannin and Tyler Shuck on the board, but Armand Membou isn't even on the board? So that's a problem, number one. And it goes to your point, and I saw your little back and forth with Adam Shine, who made it clear he's a voter, which is really cool, and made it clear that he thinks Membou would be one of the top candidates in his eyes. But the reality is, like, Vegas isn't that far off on these things. Just because they have Teteroa McMillan as the favorite doesn't mean he's going to win. That's not what I'm saying. But if they have, once again, Harold Fannin 50-1 or 500-1, whatever it is, but Membou's not even on the board, that means nobody is taking Membou seriously.
Yeah.
And part of it is the Jets aren't good enough. But then why? And I get the answer is going to be because he's a quarterback. Jackson Dart is third. Jackson Dart's now missed multiple games. He didn't start out the season, and the Giants stink. Jackson Dart's been awesome when he plays. But so is Armand Membou.
Yeah.
So is it for the best rookie that plays on the offensive side of the ball? Or is it for a rookie on a good team? Or is it for a quarterback that is even on a bad team? Like, the structure of the award clearly doesn't make any sense. And this is a little bit of me on my soapbox, and it might sound like somebody that is bitter because I don't have a vote, and I promise you it's not. The voting needs to be better. I'm sorry, but you can't convince me that over 75% of the voters watch the tape of the rookies, especially on the offensive line, considering that it's not even a consideration. If Armand Membou came in 12th in the voting, we'd be like, people at least were aware of him.
Yeah.
He will not, unless this changes, and I think you and I are going to start a campaign.
Yep.
He won't even be mentioned outside of the Jets sphere, outside of the New York sphere. And that's wrong because he's been incredible. He's passed the test against some of the NFL's best edge rushers. He's a huge cog in the Jets run game. What are the coincidences that Joe Tippmann's having this great breakout season at right guard? I don't think it's a coincidence that he's playing next to Armand Membou. I think that matters a lot. So, yeah, I'm with you all the way, and hopefully we could at least get him mentioned in these conversations in a couple of weeks.
Badlands is starting the campaign. Do the right thing. Consider offensive linemen. Before we get into the tank wars, any other film tidbits? Sherwood, we got a little back and forth on that in some places. Also, how about Harrison Phillips and the rest of that defensive line rotation? What did you see in the front seven of the Jets defense led by Sherwood against the Ravens?
Well, Phillips, let's start with him, who is playing hurt admirably. I thought was very good and is becoming a no-brainer to keep his $7.5 million on the books next year. He has no guaranteed money left. Yeah. So if the Jets cut him, which once again should not be a combo, they save $7.5 million and have no dead money, which is like a Joe Douglas miracle, right? You could tell he didn't do that contract. The Vikings did this contract. Yeah. No void years, no dead money, but good for Harrison Phillips, who's played his ass off this year. He's earned every bit of that $7.5 million. I can argue they should tack on a year to his deal if he's going to take a mid-market deal, because he's the type of defensive lineman they want on their interior. And yes, he's a little one-dimensional as a run plugger, but they need him. Sherwood, okay, we get a lot of questions about Sherwood because I know he had the 13 tackles he was listed at, which tackles don't mean anything more often than not. He didn't have a bad game, let me be clear. And I know you and I have been a little harsh on him. Sorry, we have expectations for the, $17 million a year linebacker. I think that's pretty fair. He's small, where every time a climbing lineman gets to him, the play's over. He's not in the play. Now, there was a couple moments against the Ravens where I tipped my cap to him. He beat guys to the spot, and he got to the ball carrier. But it's no coincidence that the Jets get clowned at the goal line. And I'm not putting it all on him. That's not what I'm saying. But him and Quincy are very small. And if you take out the big bodies up on the Jets front on the goal line, you or I could have walked in on the Derrick Henry touchdowns. Yeah. Like, I'm not exaggerating. You and I could have literally walked in. So I have higher expectations for Sherwood. He's gone from being arguably the worst starter on the roster the first month of the season to now below average. That's how I would describe it. And he made some plays against the Ravens. He had some. There's also times, though, too, where like he reads the run fake wrong. And then who is it? They gave a jet sweep to somebody, probably Zay Flowers. So he read the run fake wrong. The jet sweep beats him to the edge, and then he made the tackle like 10 yards down the field. Yeah. So that's an example of that's a bad play. Yeah. It's a really bad play. But once again, he had a couple of plays in this game. He's paid to be a game-changing linebacker, and I would call him not a game-changing linebacker, not a good linebacker this year, probably mediocre. Like, at least he's not the guy that's getting picked on out there anymore.
Yeah. To go back to Harrison Phillips, I feel like beyond the on the field stuff, he feels like a key leader in this new regime. He had a really good answer this week to some question from the beat where I thought he articulated how to shake off the mope in his own words about like how you change the culture and set the expectation of winning, but be patient for it. There's a really like thoughtful, intelligent answer. And he had mentioned he like talked to the team about it. And I was like, that's the kind of guy you want around going forward. Like make it happen. Don't let the financials get in the way. Before
a Stanford guy, true and through.
Yes. Like
I interviewed him when he was a prospect before his draft, and I was blown away then.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not shocking to see now as a veteran in this league, he'll be 30 next year, that he's developed into a really good pro. But you're absolutely right, Joe, that's the kind of guy that you want here to be for the turnaround.
Yes.
Because they're not going to lose 3 games in a row and he's got a towel over his head and doesn't want to talk to the media. It's that he'll be the same guy when they're losing 3 games in a row compared to when they win 3 in a row. And he plays a pivotal role in Glenn's front.
I think he needs to come on the podcast in the offseason. I'm going to throw
the
it
Bills
out there
wish
now.
They still had him.
Oh, I think they do. So
seriously,
Harrison Phillips, come on to Badlands. All right, before we get to the 10 cores, I have a little trivia for you. Going into the Jets' 12th game, they have 5 players with 15 or more receptions. Who do you think are the Jets' 5 leading receivers? And how sad would you be if I told you this list before the season? Who are the 5?
So at least Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall make the list.
Who is number 1 in receptions for the Jets right now? It's not either of those 2.
Oh, number 1. You want me to do them in order?
Yeah.
Number 1 in receptions, and it's not either of those 2. Oh, goodness. In just total catches?
Yeah, just total receptions. Who leads the Jets in receptions going into week 13?
Is it Mason Taylor?
It is, with 37. And he doesn't have 300 yards yet. He has 37 catches for 297 yards. He's averaging 8 yards a catch. It's unbelievable.
Oh, my God. All right, so I got that. It's Mason Taylor. Garrett and Breece are on the list.
Garrett's second with 36. Breece is third. Who's fourth? Breece has 28. Who's fourth and fifth?
Fourth and fifth.
They're not wide receivers, is your hint.
Oh, my Lord. That's a problem. So Ruckert and Isaiah Davis?
Correct. Isaiah Davis is fourth with 18, and Ruckert is fifth with 15. That's your top 5 in receptions for the Jets right now. I think Reynolds is next with like 11, and he hasn't played.
Tyler Johnson probably has 9.
He's stuck at 10, our guy. He went from wide receiver 1 to inactive in 4 weeks. It's unbelievable.
I mean, Lazard being on the field is a disgrace. But
he has to have 1 catch for 2 yards every week and miss a couple blocks, of course, our guy.
At least John Mechie's here.
Yes, he's gonna climb up that list very quickly, I think.
So I'm doing a breakdown on him for pregame, but a little spoiler of it. Not only is Mechie like it's real how he's playing. Engstrand is scheming everything around him.
I love it. He's the wide receiver 1 now, like truly.
They will run multiple rubs or some kind of pick play of a tight end in front of him because of how much they trust him to do 3 things. 1, run the correct route with timing, which he does. He's a very smart guy. 2, catch the ball. And 3, he's got juice after the catch. Yeah, I'm telling you, like they are scheming everything to him, and that's good to see.
The John Mechie offense, just what we knew going into Jets Falcons.
Massive curly vibes, like you said.
Amen. All right, so 6 games left.